that they can fix everything. Every little hurt, every little boo-boo, every little pain and ache that we get, we run to mama because we know mama can fix it. Okay? And as with our mothers would do anything and everything, and no matter what it took to make sure their babies were okay and they didn't hurt. Do you understand that? So when we have that kind of faith in the abilities and the compassion and passion of our mothers, can you only imagine what our Father, if we put that same level of trust and faith in what our Father is able to do, it's endless. Your mind can't even fathom the miraculous healing power that comes with that level of faith. Now, what I find with us a lot of times is we put mammoth-sized faith in things of the world and people. Okay, you understand what I'm saying? We take this humongous faith and we put it on things of this world. We look at our doctors. See, doctors and medicine, we have mammoth faith in them for our healing. Well, the doctor says, well, I got to take this medicine, this medicine, this medicine, this medicine, this medicine, but I'm going to be all right because this medicine going to heal me. No, that medicine and that doctor is a conduit because of the power of God in our healing. So though you may follow the directions of your doctor and you may take your medication like you're supposed to, your healing comes from God. So when you get that diagnosis, or when that pain is still lingering and you done took all 10 of those pills, we got to challenge our faith then because we're trusting in the wrong thing. You understand? And then we have that mammoth type of faith when it comes to our jobs and perhaps winning the lottery. I know there's nobody in here for our prosperity. Okay? We look at that boss, we look at that job, we look at that 9 to 5, we're looking at the man because the man gonna get us our prosperity. No. That's a conduit. It's what God is using to help us get to that level. So when that door closes and you all devastated, you gotta trust in the power of God that door was supposed to close because there's a better opportunity for you. Understand? And then we have that mammoth type of faith in people and in relationships, husbands, boyfriends, sisters, brothers, best friends, besties, you know, when we love our mamas and we love our parents and we love our family. But we depend on those relationships and put our faith in those to bring us a certain joy and a certain happiness and a certain feeling of love. No. You take that mammoth faith and you give it to God, and He will give you your joy. He will give you your peace. He will give you the love that you need. And then God will see that, and people will see that in you. But that's where it comes from. But too many times we rely on others to provide us with the joy and the love that we need. Now, in preparation for coming to talk with you all, I looked up the word faith. Yeah, we all do. It's like, well, what does it mean in the technical terms? In contract law, the implied contract of good faith and a general presumption that the parties to a contract will deal with each other honestly and fairly, so as not to destroy the right of the other party or parties to receive the benefits of the contract. Let's take that word contract and change it to the covenant. See, through our faith, we have a covenant with God. And see, we have a covenant contract with God, that there are certain provisions that come with that covenant contract to provide us with a promise. Now, God keeps His promise. Amen. All right? He keeps His part of the covenant. He keeps His part of the contract. But it's us who waver and don't keep our part of the deal. And He doesn't ask for much. But when we don't, that contract is null and void. It's thrown out of court. But we serve a forgiving God. We serve a God that loves us despite of our ability to keep our portion of the contract. But when we acknowledge that we've fallen short of keeping our part of the contract, then he expects us to recognize that, own up to it, and do what we're supposed to do. All right? Another example in the Bible of great faith is in Matthew 8, when it talks about the Roman centurion who asked Jesus to heal his paralyzed servant who was suffering terribly. And Jesus asked if I should go to heal him. But the Roman man replied, Lord, I don't deserve you to come under my roof, but just say the word. Okay, just say the word and my servant will be healed. Just say the word, Lord, and my servant will be healed. For I myself am a man under authority with soldiers under me. I tell one, go, and he goes. I tell that one to come, and he comes. I say to my servant, do this, and he does it. Jesus was amazed at the centurion's response. And there, he too had great faith. See, now, in either story, Jesus doesn't say that in order for him to heal a person, they have to have a certain level of faith, because he said in his word that all you need is the faith of mustard seed. But because he recognized and he said that that person had great faith, obviously that pleased him. So don't we want to please him? We want to give him mediocre when we can give him mammoth? We do it for everything else. And the everything else tend to let us down. They don't keep their promise. Jesus continued healing in Matthew 15. Jesus left there and went along the Sea of Galilee. Then he went up on the mountainside and sat down. Great crowds came to him, bringing the lame, the blind, the crippled, the mute, and many others, and laid them at his feet, and he healed them. It didn't say he healed some of them. The word said he healed them. The people were amazed when they saw the mute speaking, the crippled made well, the lame walking, and the blind seeing. And they praised the God of Israel. See, you have your faith. You give God his honor and his glory and his praise, and he is pleased with you. You're obedient to his word. He is pleased with you. See, the God we serve that made those miracles and healed those people back then is the same God we serve today. And if he did it then, he'll do it today, because he'll do it forever. He doesn't change, we do. He has no respect of person. What he did for that centurion man and that Canaanite woman, he'll do it for you. But you have to be of great faith. The power is in your hand. The power is in your faith. Your words you speak is what gives you power for the healing. Jehovah Rapha, the Lord, our healer, heals all our troubles. He heals all our sickness. He heals our soul. It doesn't say that he heals some. It doesn't say he heals it when he feels like it, that he heals most, that he heals a few every here and there. It says that he heals all. All our troubles, all our sicknesses, and he heals our soul. Because sometimes our soul hurts too. Now, there are stories today, last week, of God's miracle workings. I'm sitting there watching the news, and it talked about this young boy who was either critically sick or had a critical accident, but he was brain dead, and he had been out of it for a long time, to the point that the parents had scheduled to pull the plugs on this young man the next day. The day before the parents were to pull the plug, the boy began to move. He opened his eyes. He started his rehabilitation rapidly. And on the news, the boy said to the news, it had to be God. His parents were about to pull the plug. Now, I'll let you know, because you know the devil busy, but we don't give him that kind of credit. See, the young boy saying it had to be God, it was at the end of the news story and it went by like that. Okay? See, they don't want you to hear that part. All right? But that young boy said it had to be God. All right? So he is still, our Father is still in the miracle healing business today. You got to get yours. Now, there's some important things to understand as you start to build your faith. Because it's understanding that our words are fountains of life, which is said in James 3. And the most dangerous part of our body is our tongue. Okay, you understand that? That life and death is in the power of the tongue. You have to be careful what you speak upon yourself or your children, and you got to be careful about what you say. Now, I know this doesn't pertain to the people of Beulah Baptist Church. But we have some folks, they're Christians, but you got praise in 1 minute, and you got cussing the next. I didn't say cursing. I said you got cussing the next. Now, when I say that, it's not just using profane language. It's being negative. It's having offense. It's having hatred in your heart. It's having speaking ill of your sister or your brother. Okay? That's cursing. So you can't have both. You should not have blessings and cursings coming from the same mouth. That doesn't work. If you live a life of discord, anxiety, depression, stress, tension, emotional distress, worry, offense, hatred, and bitterness, these things affect your health and your healing. Okay? A lot of people wonder why they can't get well. You got to check yourself. Okay? You got to look within. You got to talk to God and be like, God, what am I doing? Okay? Direct me. Show me. Because I need your healing. I want to do right. So when you come to the realization of what that might be, you got to repent and ask for forgiveness. You got to let go and let God. See, like I said, life and death is in the power of the tongue. Guard your words, you guard your life. Proverbs 21:23 says, whoever guards his mouth and tongue keeps his soul from trouble. Whoever guards his mouth and tongue keeps his soul from trouble. So another thing that I would share with you, and I know, the church folks sometimes, we want to pray for everybody. We want to ask everybody to pray for us. Be mindful of who you ask to pray for you. Okay? Be mindful. I don't let everybody pray for me. No. And if I say I'm going to pray for you, I'm going to pray for you. But I'm going to check myself first. Okay? If I have any offense, Lord, forgive me. Forgive me for my sins. If I've done anything against my man, sister, or brother, please, Lord, forgive me. Now, I said I was going to pray for this person. Because a lot of times people say, I'm going to pray for you in passing because it sounds right and I'm supportive of you. But if you tell somebody in your right heart that you're going to pray for them, you stop what you're doing. Because you don't have to do a sermon to pray for somebody. Okay? You don't have to do a dissertation to pray for somebody. But if somebody's expecting you, your prayer might be the prayer that is needed to change things for them. So don't promise me you're going to pray for me and you don't pray for me, but then